Gulf Coast. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now Jones. It's complete to Diggs. There he goes, left side. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Here we go. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. 3 bucks.
They'll run with Cook. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He'll get it up the middle, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Vikings 7, Buccaneers 0.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Ready. Check. You ain't going nowhere. Check. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Past the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 38 yards on the scamper there. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time,
going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 5-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here I come. Here I come.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The throw complete to Beebe. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on. And as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Looking to throw. Jones. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cook following the penalty. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, Jones. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On second down now, it's Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
At the 29-yard line.
Ready? Who ready? Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Check 52. You go tight. Wait. You got tight right there. Let's go. Let's go.
On second down, it's Jones. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
A gain of a yard makes it 3rd and 11.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11.
Ready.
3rd and 11. And some extra depth to the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Wide. Get wide. Wait. Mike 54.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Ready. Screen, triple team. Coming this way. Here we go. Hustle. 50 to Mike.
They'll try to throw now. Winston looking for Perriman there. He's got him. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. They'll run it here with Adams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Come on out here. Come get some. Drive on the 50. Drive on the 50. Drive on the 50. Mike's 50. Mike. Let him go.
Now Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Oh, 50's the mic. 50's the mic. I got one. I got one. I got one.
3rd and long for Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
I'm coming after you.
2nd and 6. And he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there, 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jones going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Credit the sack to Vita Vea.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll try the right side with Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. On 3rd down, Winston. He's got Evans. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it. Easy. 50. Mike, 50. Yeah. Mike, easy. 50. Bring it.
Jones. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Wait. Mike 50. Watch the slap. Easy. Mike 50. Hey, tighten down. There you go. Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
65.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 3 on what should be the final play of the first half. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ready? Blue ready. Hey, 5-0. Come on, 30.
On second down, it's Jones. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Ready? Back 25 behind. Hey, eat.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. And even. Here we go. Check.
Jameis to throw it. And this is caught by Evans. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Check. Crunch.
On first down, this is Adams. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. The 30, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Josh Adams, his first touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Second and 5. And Diggs has it. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A gain of 5. Good enough for the first down. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
Let's go.
Complete to Stephon Diggs. A gain on the play. First down, Vikings.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Devin White make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means...
And the pressure gets to him again. Vita Vea picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 11.
Ready? Blue 80. 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. 30. They're running it. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Push him back.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. The catch made by Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. On 1st down, Jones. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Silver, silver.
Flip, flip, flip.
He's got this one complete to Perriman. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Ready. Blue lady.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Check 37. Check 37.
Let's go.
They go with a fullback line. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Check, check, check.
2nd and 9 now. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. Now it's the backup Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And it's fielded at the 34. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 47-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And an alley to run. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat.
Under pressure, they got him again. Devin White in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Throwing is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
They run. Cook. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Cook, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Get that quarterback, D-line.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 49.
So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Bucs, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the